Hello guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sonia, and on today's Sunday sit down with Sonia, we are talking about racism and our experiences as immigrants with racism, and growing up in countries like North America, countries that are not predominantly black. I have Ijoma here again. Okay, let me just tell you the truth. We shot this on the same day. I have Ijoma here again um, to share her experience, and there's some really touching stories. So you should really watch it till the end. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, and share this video. There's a lot of honesty and openness we shared in this video. So I would really love if you could share it on your Facebook, on your Instagram, your WhatsApp, everywhere, so that people can see and hear what we have to say. And please, 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 I'm always happy to have guests on Sunday Sit Down with Sonia. So if you're interested, please reach out or leave a comment so that I can know that you would want to join one of our conversations. I want to say, before I hand over to Ijoma to share her experience, I want to say that for me, I feel like as Africans, growing up predominantly where we're black, I feel like I cannot understand the oppression that African Americans or people that have lived or grown up in North America or countries that are predominantly white feel. I can never understand it. And this is why I noticed that during all these protests and looting, you see some of us Africans saying they should not loot, they should not destroy stuff. I mean, it's not the best solution, but it's not for us to tell them how to react. That's how I feel. Like, it's not for us to tell them how to react, because we can't really understand. Also, I haven't really experienced racism. Really, I can't really think of it. The only times I can remember is when I was in Serbia. Some young boys called me a monkey, or they said black African monkey, or the African gorilla, or whatever. That was the highest one. I mean, maybe people have done other things and I just ignored it. So I just felt like, because I try not to always see myself as a victim. So when people are acting some way, I don't want to first think it's because they're acting like this towards me because I'm black. I just want to assume maybe they're having a bad day and it has nothing to do with me. Like, I don't always want to center myself in whatever shit they may be going through. That's their business. And I just remove myself from the situation. I haven't been in a situation where I've gone into a store and they're looking at me awkwardly to see if I'm going to steal something or if I can afford something. I mean, there's been one or two times I felt self-conscious being in a store. It's a very expensive store as a black person, but it's not necessarily, I don't think, I can't remember, to be honest, if anyone was looking at me weirdly because I was black and in an expensive store or whatever. So I'm sure there are microaggressions that have happened, but for me personally, I don't have much experience with racism. It's pretty much these things I've told you. I'm sure it happened a few times when I used to live in London in primary school, but I can't really remember those times. But I can remember like a little racism then, and that was in primary school. So at what age do they start learning how to be racist? My friends here, they say that their children in school complain about, in primary school to elementary school, complain about racism. So some people are teaching their kids, or the society is teaching their kids to be racist at such an early age. Because I know as of preschool, they don't know what that shit is. So is it from kindergarten or from grade 1, or when do they start picking up on, oh, my teachers are treating this person different, or my parents are treating this person different because they're not the same color? When do they start picking up on that? Because right now, my son is in preschool and they all get along. So it's just weird.
The one thing that I think I realized was, I mean, like you said, growing up in a predominantly black country, or where whites are the extreme minority.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there isn't really, I mean, there is tribalism and other things that are going on. But as far as racism was involved, it wasn't, I mean, I didn't really see myself as Black. Like I didn't
Exactly.
notice my Blackness, if I can put it that way. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I could see that my skin was dark. That's
Mm-hmm.
and like
I
Blackness
wasn't
was not
self-aware, yeah, about it.
exactly. I was not aware, like
Mm-hmm.
just hyper aware of the color of my skin.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that changed. So I think because in Nigeria, most of the issues that I was facing, or at least that I was aware of, were issues that were that had to do with gender. So in Nigeria, I was a woman first, or a girl first, or whatever. But when I came here, I was Black first. Like I
Mm-hmm.
became extremely aware of my Blackness
Mm-hmm.
just because of the way things are, the way the system is structured, everything. And I mean, day one, day literally first day in like I had gotten to school to register on campus. And I got there and the lady asked me if I needed an interpreter. Like I needed an interpreter for registration. And I said no. And she asked me, so what language do you speak? Like, if you don't need an interpreter. I was like, English. Like, that's why I
You're not
wouldn't need an
asking
interpreter.
me, are you not speaking to me in English and I'm replying?
Exactly. And I'm understanding what you're saying. And
And you're saying,
she's like, oh, wow, like, have you been in the US for a while? I was like, no, like, this is like my first day. So, and she looked at me like, oh, like, you're BSing me. Like, what do you mean this is your first day? How are you? And I'm like, well, Nigeria is an English speaking country. That's all I have to tell you. Like that's it's not like I'm boasting about speaking English. It is just fact that we
mm-hmm.
speak English in Nigeria. Like you're wasting my time now with this thing that you're doing. So and she's like,
So
oh
is that is
wow,
that
okay.
is that racism? I never saw it as racism. I just felt like it was more of ignorance.
That is ignorance and a microaggression.
Yeah, microaggression,
Because
ignorance, yeah.
and I mean, I guess that would be something immigrants would usually
Experience.
be exposed to. But from meeting African Americans and just Black people from really everywhere, they also experience that. People tell them, "Oh my God, how did you learn to speak English so well?" It's like, dude, like, where did you learn to speak English so well? What's the same freaking school? Like, what are you talking about? So they experience it as well. So it's not just something that is specific to immigrants. They also, they tell Black people that, dude, you sound so white. It's like, what does that mean? What does sounding white mean? Like, do you think you sound white or you sound Black? Like, what exactly are you trying to tell me? So things like that are just things that pop up by themselves, just in random situations, I guess, depending on where you are. But I mean, just little things. I think my most prominent experience was when I was in nursing school. I was working for a home health company, and with this company, like I would go to the patients' homes and basically care for them in their homes,
Mm-hmm.
and also take them to appointments, drive them to the hospital or drive them to a pharmacy, wherever they needed to go. So there was this specific patient that I had that lived in this really affluent part of California. I mean, this area is beautiful. It's in like it's in the hills. The
Mm-hmm.
homes there are in the millions of dollars. Like beautiful area, but all white. That's
Mm-hmm.
the thing. All white and very rich. So I was in this area. Of course, this lady that I was taking care of, was a patient. So she really needed help, and they sent me to her. So I had been in this place for, I don't even know how long I had been taking care of this woman for. But one day, I was coming back from um, the hospital with her, actually. We had been to the hospital, and we were driving back. And on our way back, like we were driving, we were like approaching the gates to
Mm-hmm.
the house, and there was a police car parked outside the gate. And the woman I was caring for was not, she had a stroke. So her, words were not fully reformed yet. So she was trying to, like, I don't know, well, she was pointing, I could see the police car I was driving. And, she was trying to say something about the police car. I couldn't understand why she was freaking out. But I was like, okay, there's a police car parked on this, like it was on the street. It wasn't like it was inside the house or anything. So I was like, okay, well, police car, whatever. So we got to the gate, drove in, and this woman is still hysterical. And she's pointing. She was pointing at, at the house, or like they had like a side gate that led to their backyard. So she's pointing at the house and at the side gate and trying to say something, but she couldn't really say. So I was like, okay, I don't know what this woman is trying to say, but I'm going to, go and see what's pointing at, because I can't see anything. So I walked to where the gate is, and it's a gate into like an open, large backyard. So I opened the gate and I'm preparing to walk into the backyard. And the next thing I see is a gun in my face. Like literally right here. And so I just stop and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, shit, what, these people are being robbed or something. And I've walked into the middle of a freaking robbery or something. And like, I couldn't see. I wasn't sure what was going on anymore. And so my vision finally comes to focus. And this is a policeman in front of me with his gun in my face. And I'm like, and I hadn't said anything. And he asked me, and he starts shouting, like, who are you? What are you doing here? I'm in uniform, by the way, like badge, ID, all dressed in like work, outfits, whatever. And he's yelling like, who are you? What are you doing here? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I work here. Like, I work here. I work for the, the family that lives here. I just brought the woman back from the hospital. And he's like, well, I need to see some identification. And I'm like, I'm not reaching for shit. Like, this is nope. I was like, I had my work like lanyard with my badge. I was like, this is my work ID on me. So that's, my driver's license is in the car, and the woman is also here. So, the owner of the house is here. You can, go talk to her, but I'm not pulling anything out. I'm not bringing any ID for you to look at. And he still has his gun drawn as we're talking. And so I basically just start backing away from him because your gun is in my fucking face. And you expect me to answer your questions and give you ID and whatever. And so I'm backing away, and he hears the woman that I told this woman, please stay in the car because I don't know what the hell is going on. Like, I don't know why there's police here. I don't know, why you're pointing at the gate. And so she was sitting in the car, and he hears her like yelling because she's now freaking out. Like, what is going on? Like, this person that was taking care of me has gone into the backyard and disappeared. I don't know what the hell is going on anymore. And so I walked, like, I'm backing out into now the driveway. And she sees me, and this woman is now crying, like, oh my God, somebody, they're gonna kill this girl on my property, whatever. And she's screaming, and the policeman sees her and then puts his gun away. And I say, okay, this is the owner of the house that lives here. This is the person I'm here caring for. So, he's like, oh, okay, well, I got a call that there was an African-American person that had come into they said a Black person had come to the compound and was trying to pick the lock of the front door. And they realized that the person had been here before because the car that the person drove up in looked familiar. And he asked me, what kind of car do you drive? I drove a Honda Accord at the time. I said, I drive a Honda Accord. My car is right here. And he's like, that's the car that they described, that this person has been coming around here trying to break into homes. It's like, trying to break into homes. Really? People in this neighborhood have seen me trying to break into. I said, yes, I come here almost every day, but I get to the front door and knock, and I'm let in. I don't try to break into anybody's freaking house. Like, this is the only house I've been to in this neighborhood. And it's not like the houses are close together or anything.
That is so
So
surreal. I can't even imagine experiencing that.
I mean, I never went back there. That's just, I never went back. Like, that was my last day. And I was
Like
like,
for real, why would you go
not going
like
back. I filed a report. Everywhere at the police station, at my job, I was like, I'm not going back to this place. You guys, if you think I need to be fired for that, it's too bad. But I was like, nobody should have a gun drawn on them for being black.
it's actually so disheartening, and anytime I see these things, I see, well, everyone's like upset, people are protesting. I'm glad that the protesting is somewhat working. They're charging these people, but how can we really make this thing stop? Like, how can we even really make this thing stop? Because it's obviously not just the police. It's like a
No,
majority of the white people, so it's like, how can you get them to see that we're just human beings like you? Like, yes, sure, there are black people who are supposedly thugs and who are criminals or whatever, but there are also white people who are thugs and criminals. Like,
exactly.
there's Mexicans that are thugs and criminals. There's Chinese who are thugs and criminals. There's thugs and criminals across every race or nationality or whatever. So why as in, I'm just tired. Like, when I don't even react, I don't even talk too much because about these things, because I just feel like it just get me worked up. I'll feel really bad, like I'll not just be able to do anything. And it's like, but nothing is changing. I'm not in North America to, I mean, I'm to even experience half of these things people are like where I'm hearing about.
Mm.
But I know I have a son who is black, and it happens here in Canada, but obviously not as much in North America. In America, the United States. Canada is in North America. What am I saying? United States. But I'm just like, it definitely happens here, because I hear of little stories, like, especially in school, maybe bullying, or maybe they want to accuse you first if something happens.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, so I'm just like, you just, as a parent as well, I tend to worry. Like, I know that there are white people that they profile, obviously. You might be black, but they may not want to suspect you because you look calm or put together. What do they call it? There's something they say. There's something they call that thing. Like, I've forgotten what they call it.
What?
Hmm?
I don't know what you're describing.
It's like when they say, because other black people use it in defense. It's like, well, if you're put together, you're whatever, nobody's going to profile you or whatever. I'm just like, no. I know that that's the reason why, especially as a woman, because the way they treat black men and women are also different.
Mm-hmm.
They'll treat black women, they may not always suspect you, but when there's like something that really happens, they want to believe a white woman over you.
Yes.
They're gonna really suspect you, even if you may seem calm. Like, I've never been in that situation, so I feel like most of the time maybe nobody is even looking at me that way because I look like one small harmless little child that's not going to do anything. But I feel like if there's a serious situation, like maybe like I'm in a store and somebody steals or something, there maybe people are gonna start looking at me, even though I look harmless on a
Mm-hmm.
normal day, or I look put together. On a normal day, I'm not dressed or I'm not aggressive, I'm not loud, because they tend to feel like, okay, black people are loud, they're great, especially black women. They like to feel like black women are
Mm-hmm.
loud and aggressive. That's what they like to say. And so, and sometimes I know there are times where I felt like, even my friends like, oh, and sometimes I feel like, am I the one that is being silly by not reacting, to some situations? Because sometimes I see my friends and I feel like I feel like they're overreacting. It's like, how do you know this person is saying this thing? Maybe the person is just stupid and annoying, not necessarily because you're black, that they don't want to give you your change, or they're telling you they don't have this. I feel like sometimes it's always the first thing people go to, like, this person's being racist. I'm like, I see people, like, especially like service staff,
Mm-hmm.
behave to everyone. white or black, they misbehave to everyone. Like they can just decide to be stubborn because they're having a bad day and say, you this guy, I'm not giving you this thing. I won't put all the sugar you want in your tea or something silly. I'm just like,
yeah. But then there are also triggers. That's the thing. So if somebody that has experienced racism before, or somebody that has been where they felt discriminated against, and especially in somewhere like America, where it is an everyday occurrence, no way to escape it. If somebody does something to you that triggers that kind of response, then whether they were being racist or not, honestly, I don't blame you for the way that you react, because it is, I mean, a trigger is a trigger. That's just it. So it's kind of difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to, to pinpoint, okay, racism versus stupidity versus ignorance versus whatever. Still, like, why are you treating me this way? Period. That's just it. And yeah, I think triggers are a very big deal, because for Black people, if a white person is mistreating you, I mean, there's really no way to say, okay, they're just having a bad day. No. If you are mistreating me as a Black person, most likely I will think you are a racist. That's just.
So it's almost even similar to like this thing we said with the rape thing. It's like when it's not a full yes.
A resounding yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so almost kind of like that. So just to clear out that, just avoid it. Like, instead of trying to mistreat me, just you to ignore the situation, just walk away from the situation.
Exactly.
Let us all both walk away and let nothing happen. I watched something on Instagram just today, and the guy was saying like electricity and water are both necessary. And he was comparing electricity and water to like Black and white people. But if they should have a negative reaction, like they can be put near each other and nothing will happen. But if they should have that negative reaction, it can be volatile, it can be terrible. So that's pretty much what I was saying. Like, we can both be here and be fine, but one random thing can just happen that will just bring a reaction. Maybe the electricity, which is the hair curler, can enter inside the water.
Yeah.
Explosion, you get. And then I always just wonder, I think to myself, like, what can really be done at this point? Like, is it not too late to try and be rewiring the minds of these people? Like, I think all we can hope for is that the justice system, at least, is not biased, so that even when these things happen,
too late.
I mean, they have to wait for something like this. So many people have to die first, then we have to protest before justice starts happening, which is just ridiculous. I mean, there's so much deepness in it. Like, when I think about it, they say like how they're using Black people to make money for prisons or whatever. Just they need to get their money, so they need to put people in prison. Black people are disposable, especially Black men. They're disposable. They just put them inside, even though they are like white people shooting up schools and killing everybody.
Exactly.
Is the Black person that was randomly just walking on the road.
The difference is so clear that I'm wondering what is the opposition to this? Like, tell me what your points are for either not believing that there is a problem or wondering why people are so angry. Like, imagine I don't know what's the city that Charleston, the guy that shot up a church in Charleston and killed 9 people. And was in the back of a squad car eating McDonald's or whatever, Burger King or something, because he was hungry and thirsty. And I'm just like, huh? Sorry, you are feeding a terrorist, because that was exactly what that guy was.
He's making mistakes.
But I forged a check, or I sold, a cigarette on the street or whatever, and I'm dead. Why? It makes no sense. So the difference is so clear that I don't even understand what the anti-protests are for, or what's their hope. What they believe is actually going on. Unless those people that are here to detract from the point and confuse everybody and make sure that nothing actually gets done. I don't know what the actual solution is, but I feel like, I agree with, I don't remember which famous philosopher or whatever said that um, change is not obtained in democracy. You
Mm,
can't really, it is through war, basically. That is what
I
it is.
guess that's what needs to happen because that
So,
video here would.
so it is either you fight for what you want or you keep going in this exact same system. I mean, I don't believe any of the African Americans in this country, well, I can't say any because, well, I don't know, but there are a lot of them. The majority are not interested in staying calm or staying in this system or just letting things go or trying to be, nice and calm about it. No, they want to fight to the death and let this thing happen for the next generation to be safer. So
It's so sad. I'm getting like it's making my skin crawl. Like I'm getting goosebumps because it's just a terrible. So like anytime I think, I try not to think about it too much. I know that I'm going to be even more worried when my son starts getting older,
hmm,
and it's just like I don't even want to think. I'm trying to leave that for then, but at the same time, like I don't want to think about that now and disturb myself. Let me worry about that later. But at the same time, it's just really annoying. Like it's so like and these people they feel so good talking about it, how they're racist. You see them posting videos. Yes, something black. I'm just like, how is this even allowed? How are you proud to come and say this?
that's the thing. Like white supremacy is real. Like the people are taught they are superior and they have the right to exert their superiority as they see fit. I mean, going back to like, I don't know, well, I think this was like Germany or somewhere, and learning about eugenics and keeping the purity of the white race. They don't want people to mix. They don't want too many black children where they are sterilizing black women against their will. Things like that. Like, and they happen in the US as well. But people either don't know or don't care, or maybe they care and they're like, yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. It was so long ago. No, like a lot of these people that fought for, I don't know, the vote for women or whatever, like you will still find out that a lot of behind the scenes, the work they were doing was anti-black everything. Like they were fighting for the vote, but they didn't care about black people. They cared about their fellow white women voting. Black people, well, too bad you were sub sub whatever you would call
Mm-hmm.
it, so you don't count. Like a lot of those things. Like that's why like I'm conflicted in like my feminism movement because the original feminism movement was built on racism. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's so much that's ingrained in the fabric of the US that is just like I don't even know if I'm 100% in support of one thing or 100% against
Mm-hmm.
another, because when you start hearing the history and all the nonsense that has gone on in the background, you're like, shit's like I've been supporting this thing for my entire life. So it's I don't know. The solution is probably somewhere out there. Somebody has the answer. I hope it is out there. But
I guess what you're saying is true. I mean, we're just gonna have to keep fighting, which is so
yeah,
sad. Like, what is life? A life that you just have to keep fighting for your rights. You have to keep fighting for yourself. Like, what kind of life is that? Like, I used to think at some point that maybe okay, yes, if you just keep being a regular human being, going to work, you know, not presenting like a black not presenting as like a black person, you're not going to be affected. But like from your experience you just shared, it's not like that. You can just be in the wrong
no,
place at the wrong time,
exactly.
whether you are the best, most, whatever black person there is, they're not going to care. All they're going to see is that you're black. Just like in your situation now, like you're a freaking nurse helping an old woman out. You
And the neighbors,
neighbors that have never
I've never seen
experienced
them.
you
I've never
exactly
seen
just feel just God, it's so annoying. Just felt like, oh, let's mess up this girl's life. Why is she without even
Imagine
find out
if
what's happening
that cop had shot me.
without even asking questions? Like, just
Imagine if
as
he
he
had
saw
shot
you
you.
because he went on the words of neighbors.
Yeah. Imagine, like, people say, okay, maybe. And then, of course, the story will be, she was breaking into somebody's house.
They will obviously they'll say whatever they want to say because you're not there to defend yourself. And the old woman that can hardly talk is not going to be
He's
there.
the only person that knows why I'm actually there.
Yeah, she will not be able to really defend you. Oh, except they now start tracing someone somehow investigates and trace, maybe your family finds out that you're like, when they find out you're dead, they now trace that you were working, and that story eventually comes out. But that's going to be after so much, and how much they must have tarnished your name, you know, the way they present black people in the news, that, oh, the person had a criminal record before, had been petty crime, but if it's a white person, it was a disturbed white boy.
Exactly.
It's just like
you see so much, I don't know, like, disparity in just the way things are handled, the way people are treated, the way, I mean, black people, you come to a school, it's like a high school, people are fighting. People fight in high school. Like, that's not such a strange occurrence that, oh my God, the world is ending. People are fighting. A white person is taken to counseling or whatever, blah, blah, blah. A black child is arrested, as in you handcuff the child, put the child in the police car, take them to the police station. You haven't called their parents. You haven't done anything that is actually benefiting this child. You arrest a child for fighting. But the person that you're fighting with is still here. They're still here. It just so happens that that person is a different color. That's why they're being coddled and,
I just
treated
remember
nicely.
something. Another thing is some black people feel like once they have money, they can escape this thing.
Nah.
Which is the funny thing, because which is so funny, because you think you may succeed in escaping it for a while, but like we just said, wrong place, wrong time, and your rates, tag your rates, like whether you have all your money is not going to speak for you then, because and that's why some black people with money now look down on black people that don't have money. And that's why they don't want their children to go to public school. Maybe that public school is more full of like black people. I mean, there are also issues there, they may be into crime or whatever. Yes, but that happens in every school. It's just that it's more hidden in the private tush posh schools. Like, it's like an underground thing. So
yeah,
you don't even know that this is what's happening in this school, but it's glaring in this other public school that's not in the best district. And so some black people, like, I don't want, it's just, there's a lot, it's deep. The oppression is deep, because it's like you as a black person, you don't want your child to be with other black people, where at least they will not be they will not be affected by racism, like, because they're within their black people. Obviously, there are going to be other problems there, which happens in schools, like fights or whatever that happens generally, bullying or whatever. But then you're trying to push your child to go to a posh school, which probably has more white people, where they're gonna be affected by racism. So it's just like,
yeah. So the thing is, it's a pick your poison situation. It's like, wherever you go, there will be problems. So pick which problem you
want. Exactly. Like, are you going to pick the problem? Because even if when you go to the school that is posh, that there's racism, those problems you're avoiding in the public school will still be there, in addition to the racism.
Yep.
Do you get? Because I even found myself at one point, when I first took my son to the daycare he was at in the area I was living, because it's like predominantly white people, so most of the people were probably like the only 3 black families in that daycare. And so I was just like, I just be looking, I'm just like, I sometimes I wonder what these people are thinking is, this girl, she's black, she speaks such good English, she's so this, she's so that. When I tell them something about me, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so talented, you're so this. So I'm wearing something, I made something, me and my son are matching, they're like, oh my gosh, and even the way the proprietor, one of the proprietors, the way she used to treat me, I always used to feel that, okay, yes, that's one situation I used to feel like this was because I was black. Like, I literally thought this woman was racist. Like, I never really feel like that, but this woman, I felt like that with her. She was not just, and I see she talks better with, like, at first I was like, maybe I'm overreacting, I'm just thinking it in my head, but I see she now talks better with other people. And it's just like, I'm like, someone was a problem. But I used to be, at first I'd be like, okay, at least he's in a good place, he won't he will, like, because you just feel like because they're with a lot of white people, they're safer or they will get better education or something, which is a wrong way. It's a condition, it's social conditioning,
Exactly.
And then, but when I was moving to a different district and I went to look at a school, and I went there and I saw there were loads of Black people in the school. Even though at first I wanted to be like, this place is like hoodoo. At some point I was like, I later just, I just felt relaxed. I was like, damn. I was like, I would really love for my son to come here. At least he'll be around more people that look like him. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? Like, eventually, my first reaction, because of social conditioning, was, this place is hoodoo, as in kind of, maybe you see some Black people that they have rough hair or something, and you're just like,
but that's the thing. Like, we're taught to not like ourselves.
Ourselves.
We I don't know how to, even just growing up in Nigeria, like the kinds of things you hear about Black people in America, the kind of things you hear even about Black people in like the UK or whatever, like there was never a good view or like anything positive coming out of it. So they're basically teaching you Black is bad. Like these are the people you should not associate with. Like,
you aspire to be the white people. Try to be like them. Change who you are.
I don't know where. I don't know how to fix that from the roots. But this movement where Black people are like more, appreciating their features, appreciating where they come from, appreciating, their background and whatever it is. People will tell you, yes, I grew up in the hood, I grew up in wherever, but it doesn't matter. Like, should not affect the way I'm treated. It shouldn't affect, the kinds of places I should be able to walk into. So I think that whole self-hatred thing just needs to stop, basically.
It's another thing we need to do from the parents. We need to realize, we need to be more aware. The way I had to make myself aware of the way I was thinking as a parent, so that my child doesn't grow up thinking like that, because I will in unknowingly pass that on to him.
Exactly.
Without actually saying or doing anything in particular, I'm going to unknowingly, with the microaggressions, like you said, pass that on to him to make him feel like he should associate more with these kind of people, posh.
Yeah, like exactly. Like you want to be seen a certain way, so these you should have around, like, birds of a feather flock together. It's like, what? No, like, I want to be around people that look like me, so that I can be comfortable, number one, and number two, so that I know that it's like representation. Having Black people in positions of power or whatever, you're showing Black children the kinds of people that they can be. You're showing them what they can aspire to. You're showing them, what they can achieve, basically. So having representation, or just having people around you that look like you and can reinforce that, you are perfect exactly as you are.
Exactly. And see more people in places of power with dreadlocks, because we used to have this thing that dreadlocks or not having put together wigs or straight hair, you look unkempt.
Yeah.
You're not a sensible human being. Even sometimes my mom tries to say stuff like that. Even like when guys braid their hair, it's like, because she tried to say, why am I braiding my son's hair? It's like, why not? It's hair. It's on his head. Say it's only meant for girls. Why are you suffering him? So okay, this is another discussion altogether. So women are meant to suffer. Men should not suffer. That's a whole different discussion altogether. But it's like, someone will now tell me the way I'm keeping my hair, because my hair was looking like it was my natural hair, and I now dyed it. Someone was now like, you're not looking, it's making you look rough and unkempt. You're not looking like your normal cute self. I said, thank you very much. I don't remember asking for your opinion. The way I answered her, she was shocked. She said, she just wanted to say thank you for
don't say thank you.
You have heard, I will still carry the hair. Do you get? It's like, when your hair is natural and it's mid-length, it's trying to grow, and it just looks annoying. So it was like, I had now dyed it. It's like, this thing's not making you look cute. I said, everybody want to tell you how to live your life, how to look and whatever. I'm just like, you guys should cut that shit out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with everyone, all your friends. Please share. Please help me share on your WhatsApp stories, on your Instagram, on your Twitter, on your Facebook. Please help me share this video. I may not be giving important pointers, but I feel this topic is very important and we should definitely share it. Thank you.